I've watched a lot of anime in the last 8 months, maybe around 50 series or so, and I've have like 50 more in queue that I've partially finished. But I never actually used Crunchyroll. I'd always used Netflix, Funimation, High Dive, and every once in a while I'd used a little Hulu. But recently I did make a Crunchyroll account, and I used the free trial, and I tried to watch as many of the great shows on Crunchyroll as I could, especially the Crunchyroll exclusives they have. But that, of course, didn't work out. There's too many of them, and the free trial is only like a week. But I did see a few shows that I really liked, and a few of them were romance shows, which has always been kind of interesting to me because although I really like romance animes, they are very repetitive. However, one romance anime that constantly dodged my expectations was called Tonikaku Kawaii, or Tonikawa Over the Moon for You. Now, I don't want to spoil it, so if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it now. The beginning was spoiled for me, though I still really enjoyed it, so if you don't care, you can still watch this video, but I just personally think you should go and watch it first. In Tonikawa, we follow a guy named NASA, named after the National Aeronautic and Space Administration of the United States, which is weird on so many levels. For one, they live in Japan, not the United States. But also, why would you name your son after a government administration? At first, I thought his dad was an astronomer, and maybe that would make a little sense. But then I found out his dad is actually an archaeologist. So yeah, there's no explanation, it's just a weird name. NASA's also a really hard worker in the show. He says his goal is to be even more successful than the real NASA, and it's because a lot of people make fun of him in the show that he has this idea, but the people that are making fun of him are so young. I don't think NASA's even done anything in their lifetimes. I mean, they landed on the moon way before they were alive, so I don't know what they're making fun of him for. Along with intelligence, NASA's also very confident, which is why he doesn't apply to a backup high school, and he also doesn't look both ways when crossing the street, which, might sound like a little nitpick, but it's also how he got hit by a truck in the first 5 minutes of the first episode. Luckily, he doesn't die because a girl named Tsukasa helped brace the hit for him, and because Crunchyroll already hit their isekai quota for 2020. But my thing is, Tsukasa's so nice, I would not help some idiot who just crossed the road without looking and risk my own life. In this moment, NASA decides that he loves Tsukasa. Right there, he decides that she is the one, and he immediately asks her out. And her reply is, "Only if you marry me." So I guess now it makes sense why she jumped in front of the bus for him. It's because she's insane. But NASA immediately accepts because he's also crazy. But he also passes out right after that because, if you forgot, he was just hit by a truck and he is bleeding out throughout this entire scene. Well, after this, NASA doesn't see Tsukasa for years. He goes to the hospital, he gets better, and he just never is able to contact her. But he gives up on his entire future. I mean, he does not go to high school and works in the service industry, multiple jobs, just so he'll have the best chance of seeing her possible. He never finds her, and instead, she shows up at his door, and she's been watching him for years from the shadows with a marriage license. In the first episode, they are married. Kind of a weird way to get married, but there they are. I actually love this idea of the two main characters getting married super quickly. I love 90 Day Fiancé, and this is just 90 Second Fiancé. But my one problem with this is who's to say NASA isn't a serial killer and would just kill Tsukasa when they're alone and no one would ever know about it because Tsukasa doesn't tell anyone where she is. But I guess it's all wasted breath because in the third episode, side characters talk about how amazing NASA is, so I guess he can't be a serial killer. As far as side characters go, actually, there's a bathhouse family, which are the people that said NASA's amazing, Tsukasa's annoying stepsister, and the stepsister's maids. The next few episodes give a few more details about them, but to sum it up, bathhouse family own a bathhouse, hence why I'm calling the bathhouse family. They're pretty cool, and Tsukasa's sister, like I said before, is super annoying. And although it's clear that she's meant to be annoying, it's just in the worst way, she just butts into everything. Actually, I'm gonna expand on her. Throughout the entire series, she's constantly claiming that NASA doesn't deserve Tsukasa, despite not knowing anything about NASA, which I can kind of understand to a point, because, you love your stepsister and you want the best for her, but at some point, even both of her maids were on NASA's side, and were you need to get over this. NASA's a nice guy, and she would just continuously go after NASA and try to break them apart, and it was just super annoying. One of the recurring themes we see a lot in Tonikawa is that Tsukasa is basically perfect. In like every episode, there's a solid minute of Nasa just talking about how like cute and perfect she is, which is fine, you know. He's supposed to be like starstruck with how beautiful she is. But there's also this theme of Tsukasa being written as like this 2,000-year-old person, or at least she has the memories of someone from 2,000 years ago. Now, this plot point is something that is not explored that much, and I also think it will be explored more in season 2, but it seems Tsukasa is like some immortal spirit. I'm sure the manga has already talked about this plot point, but I haven't read it, so I can't really speak on what it says, but it's hinted about a good amount in the anime. For instance, when they go to Kyoto, Tsukasa acts like she knows more than just about the architecture. Like the people that lived in these houses like 2,000 years ago, she talks about their personalities and how they acted, which is obviously not a normal thing for anyone to know, especially to like a personal extent. Even Nasa, who's kind of a genius, had no idea what she was talking about. During this trip, they also go to see Nasa's parents. They live outside of Kyoto, and Tsukasa's perfect, so of course they love her instantly. After this trip, they go back home, and we find that Nasa's apartment has been burned down, but Nasa takes it really well and really focuses on the safety of the other residents, which is nice because we've been seeing how Tsukasa's perfect, and now we get to see how they kind of fit well together because Nasa's also a great guy. Bathhouse Family gives Nasa and Tsukasa a place to stay in until they find a new place, which is where they live for the rest of the season, although they are looking for a new apartment when the season ends. Tonikawa is probably the most simplistic anime I've watched, maybe along with like Tanakim is Always Listless, but everything the writer tries, they do perfectly. I mean, it is so good. On top of that, the anime looks amazing, and the OP sounds beautiful. I'll drop a link for it, and I'll also play a little bit of it here.
あとどれくらいのさよならを流したらまぶたの奥の泉が枯れ果てるとか千年後も
Yeah, I love that OP, so I just thought a little clip of it would be nice. But really, it is just a great romance anime, and I think it's personally the best I've ever seen. And I've seen a good amount, so I think that means a lot. Thanks for watching. This was my first anime video, but I do plan to make more in the near future because I really enjoyed making this one, and I really do like watching anime. It took me a little while to get this video out, so hopefully I can get another one out pretty soon. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below and I'll make sure to read it. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you later.